Okay, there we go. Cheyenne, good to see you. Happy Friday.
Thank you. You too.
Wanted to take some time today to kind of share your story. I know you recently hit, I guess $12,500 in your business. We're not done with the month yet, but first
Nice.
of all, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
I am as well. So why don't we roll back the tape here? And I know you probably had a lot of decision criterias that went into getting started with the business like this. So even before you started, tell us what you were doing, what you were thinking, kind of where you were at in life. Would love to kind of know how you even got here.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot going on. I had just had my daughter in November and I was on maternity leave, and maternity leave was ending in like mid to end of February. And I guess maybe I was doom scrolling on Instagram and I came across your ad, and it just clicked for me and it just made sense. And a little bit of background information: I'd been working at a credit union, which was fine, but it wasn't a life goal or anything I wanted to be doing fully long term by any means. I've always wanted to be able to work for myself, not be stuck in a 9 to 5, be able to work remotely. I would really love to be able to be at home with my family and like homeschool my daughter, or just be super present and available for her. So I knew that the credit union wasn't going to be able to sustain us for much longer. And then I saw your ad, and it just, like I said, it just really resonated with me. It made a lot of sense, and I just felt this like it was almost like an intuitive just yes for me. And so I immediately, filled out like the form or whatever it was, and then I set up the interview and the appointment and everything, and then jumped right in. And I started growth cleaning the week I went back to work after my maternity leave. So it was a lot all at once.
You should have done that while you're on the leave.
Yeah, I thought about that, but like honestly, the headspace you're in when you're on maternity leave is like not a headspace for working. So it kind of was good that I was gearing up to go back to work, and then this fell in my lap at just the perfect time.
Cool. And I'd love to maybe, now that like business has started, cool. Back to work as well. Why don't you walk us through your journey to standing here right now? Because I know, everyone's journey is a little bit different. Everyone has maybe different highlights and lowlights. So I'd like to hear from you maybe two things. One thing that was like really challenging for you, or what you felt like was challenging in this journey.
Yeah.
And maybe one thing that really clicked for you and made this like, oh, okay, this is a real business. This is actually happening. And this is going to be something that I'm doing. I'd love to hear kind of
Yeah.
both of those from you.
Yeah. And the hardest part for me was honestly like the free service providing portion. It was like setting up the business. I think that you can attest to this. I've had an unusually hard time running into like, I don't know what it was, like tech issues, or it was like getting the Google certification was really hard for me. And then I was having issues with like Twilio and Flow and getting the A2P. I have deleted it from my
Yeah.
memory now. It
10
was so
DLC.
difficult.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 DLC. Getting that was really challenging for me. So initially, like kind of that first month and a half, I was, balancing work, family, and I was putting in time as much as I could. Like early in the mornings, I would wake up somewhere between like 1 and 4 in the morning to just get like an hour or two of being able to work on this and get things set up, going through like the modules. So that was the hardest part for me. And then when it really clicked was it was somewhere between probably like hiring my first cleaner, where I was like, oh wow, like I'm actually hiring people. And then when we got our first cleaning, someone just called me and they just were like, hi, we want a cleaning. And then I quoted them and they're like, okay, great. And I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna clean this person's house now, and it was like, okay, like we're doing it. I called my, chatted with my cleaner, and she went and she did it, and like it went well. I did the follow up with the cleaner or with the client, and they were happy. And I was like, okay, like I guess we're in business. So that was the moment where I was like, okay, we're doing it. And then it's just been really steady growth since then, honestly. Kind of surprisingly, I guess I just, in some respects, I thought it can't be this easy And it wasn't easy per se, but like once the wheels get going, like the momentum just starts building. So
For sure. And I almost want to double back though for a second. I know a lot, you said 1 to 4 a.m. You're waking up before to make sure like this business gets off the ground. I think a lot of people, if you're watching this, like that's the quality that leads to it seeming easy, in my opinion, because that is like the level of commitment that you had to make this work, even with a new baby, even with going back to work. You are going to make this work regardless. And I think like that really special quality from your side. And like, I'm proud of you for putting that level of commitment in, because I think that is really like what has made this such a streamlined process for you.
yeah, I mean, you have the timestamps to prove it. I was messaging you guys in our in our like direct messaging thing at like all hours. So yeah, I mean, I like I said, when I saw your ad on Instagram, it really clicked for me, and I just sort of knew I was like, this is it. Like this is something that, um, you know, I've had my careers and I've had different jobs and different interests and passions and things, and well, I never thought that this would be something that I would be doing. It's a service that I can really get behind. Like I genuinely believe it's good for people and for any community to be having their houses cleaned, and for people to be living in clean houses. So it's like, that's kind of a, you can't even argue with that. And then, but it's also not something that like and this is a really good thing. So like walk with me here. It's not something that I'm like crazy passionate about, like, you know, this is what I believe in. It's just like, it's a business and it makes sense. And I'm able to very sort of like matter of factly approach it. I believe in the service that we're providing. I know that the quality of the service and the cleaners is like top notch. So it's like, I know that there's people out there that want that. I just had a customer today call in, and she has all these artifacts from Asia. And so what she kept on saying was, she was like, we need someone that's going to take their time and be very careful. And she didn't care that she was paying a little bit extra and that she wanted us to come every week to do half of the house and the other half of the house. What she wanted was a premium service, and she wasn't price shopping, you know? So it's just like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a no-brainer for me, this business. It just makes sense. And in that sense, it's really easy for me to get behind it and like really deliver what it is we're here to do.
Okay. That should be the mission statement. Well, congrats on the recurring weekly sale as well. So shifting gears a little bit here, I'd love to kind of hear from you, maybe like more program related. What for you was maybe most valuable from the program side? Anything specific?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it's the private chat that I have with you and the other coach. I mean, you guys have really supported me and guided me through every single like up and down, every curveball. And there have been some weird things that have happened, like I said, in like the setting up process, or dealing with like a last minute, someone wanted like a commercial cleaning that I'd never put a annual proposal for together. I could just send it over to you guys and have you take a glance over it just to make me feel a little bit more confident sending it over. Like truly the level of support that you guys have provided me every step of the way. I have felt so held, so supported. And I just, it gave me the confidence to really feel like I could navigate this, because I knew that I had two really experienced and like trustworthy people. You guys really know your stuff, like from every aspect of the business to every like software that you guys have recommended to us. If I ask you some random question, you're like, oh, just click on this, 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 and this. I'm like, how do these guys know this so well? But like, you really know everything that you've recommended for us to do. And so, I mean, I trust you guys 110% with anything that you suggest. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. Very kind words. Curious, looking forward now that we kind of talked about like, hey, where have you been? How'd you get here? I'd love to know what the rest of 2026 looks like. Where are you at right now? How does this business now play a role in your life? Where do you want the business to go? Can you walk us through your 2026 vision and maybe even beyond?
Yeah, of course. So I'm now full-time working on my cleaning business. I'm no longer working at the credit union. So that's really exciting that I get to dedicate and devote all of my time and energy to this besides my family. And so, I mean, the goal is just to continue growing. I would love to hit, you know, somewhere between 15 and 20,000 next month. You told me you think I could hit 20K, so I trust you. I think that we can get there by the end of July, and just to continue stacking it. Ultimately, I would love to be making, you know, 6 figures a year. And I think that's very feasible. Like, now that I've seen the way that this grows, I have a lot of confidence in that number. So my goal initially was to leave the credit union by the end of the year. Well, that due date got moved up pretty quickly, so we're doing that. That's already one huge goal that I've achieved. But yeah, ultimately, you know, I do want to grow this. I do. Right now, we're servicing one area. Does it matter? Can I say where we are?
Yeah. Okay. No big deal.
Yeah, okay. We're in like the Eugene Springfield area in Oregon, and we want to expand to other areas within the state. I guess that's called franchising. It's just, it feels just like, I don't know, just branching out, just servicing like a larger area. We're not really ready to go to other states yet, but I have family in other states, and I've already chatted with them and been like, hey, if you guys want to jump on this bandwagon, like, feel free to. You know, we already have such a good name going. We have like all these 5-star Google reviews that people just keep on calling, being like, you have the best reviews, you know, and so it feels very easily scalable. So I would like to scale it, and then eventually to be able to offload a lot of the work that I'm doing to someone else, so that it's not taking up as much of my time, and I can kind of oversee things a little bit more and get some of my time back, because that is ultimately why I started this, so that I could have freedom of time and location. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I'm curious, I know like you didn't have business owner background experience heading into this, or entrepreneurial experience heading into this, at least not that I'm aware of. How do you feel about yourself now as you kind of transition to being a full-time entrepreneur?
Yeah, you know, I had dabbled a little bit in like different types of like coaching businesses and stuff, but it wasn't really anything that, I mean, that stuck, if we're going to be super frank about it. It was stuff that I kind of like got over after some time, and it just didn't really feel like it, I outgrew it. But this, like I said, this really feels like something that's just like a no-brainer. Just like, it's easy. You know, someone asks me, it's like, oh, what do you do? It's like, I have a cleaning company. Okay, great. Yeah. And it's like, and there's like so much more to who I am and what I do that I get to now like focus on and really breathe life into. Sorry, what was your question?
I don't even remember either. All good.
Yeah. So, oh, the entrepreneurial experience.
Yeah.
How do I feel? Right. I feel, I just feel very confident. Again, going back to, we have all the videos of our meetings that are recorded. I go back and I reference some of those things. But honestly, the way that you've laid everything out in the modules, again, I feel super supported. Like, I can go back and like revisit anything at any time. And I've had like sales experience and customer service experience in the past. So I feel like that has really supported me in this and in all the different hats that I'm wearing. And again, like, just like, you have scripts for us to follow. So it's like the onboarding script, the interview script with all of the cleaners that I'm hiring. So that just makes me feel even more confident as like a manager, as someone's boss, that's a new identity that I'm really stepping into, because before it was just me. I was just like working in my own business. Now it's like, I'm actually managing a team of like 6 whole individuals that have their whole lives, and they have children, and they have parents, and they're caregiving for their parents, and I know about their lives, and like, I care about them, and like, they depend on me to do a good job in this business, you know, and like, my family is depending on me. And so it has given me just a lot of confidence, because I have seen the proof. Like, I am doing it. I've proven it to myself. And that confidence, I think, is just like absolutely like priceless in all of this, and continuing to be able to feel like I can keep on going and grow the business.
Okay. I love it. That's a good culture you got there. I can tell just by the words that you're saying. Last question here, Cheyenne. So if someone was on the fence about doing something like this, what would you tell them?
Well, I mean, I would ask them like what their real nervousness is about. I mean, for me, when I saw this, I just knew it wasn't going to fail. I knew I was going to put everything in it. I could already tell that like the foundation and the steps were there. It's just like, am I willing to take those steps? And for me, it was just a hard yes, because for me, ultimately, it was a lifestyle that I was creating for myself. I know I do not like working in a 9 to 5. I know how difficult that is for me. And I know the lifestyle I want to have with my husband, with our family, it's traveling. And so for me, it was just like absolutely no question. Like, yeah, of course, this is my ticket out, and into the life that I've always wanted. So even my husband was a little bit shocked when I was like, I'm doing this thing, we're doing it. And he's still like, hold on, like, what are you? And I was like, no questions. Like, we're doing it. Like, you're gonna come with me and we're gonna get it done. And then you'll see. And like I said, I mean, I've just been like going 100% at it, because it's just like failing wasn't an option. And I could just tell that if I just did what you told us to do, it would work.
Okay, there it is. Well, Cheyenne, congratulations again. I think you are going to hit 20,000 next month. You're set up for success. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
All righty, take care.
Okay, you too. Bye.